Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our General Council meeting on the 17th of June 2026. So we'll move on to our agenda item number 1 to record who's present today. Good. And item number 2, apologies and if there's any leaves of absence, councillors. Councillor Highmarsh.
Thank you. Through the Chair, I'd like to ask for leave of absence from the 18th of the 6th, 26th to the 31st of the 7th, 26th for the period encompassing for personal reasons.
So that'll be a council meeting on the date of
July.
Yes. Okie dokie. Thank you. Okay. Can I have a mover and seconder, please? Mover, Councillor Cruz, seconder, Councillor Newman. All those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, Councillor Wilkins, sorry.
Thank you. I'd like to have a leave of absence from 18th of June, so tomorrow till the 4th of July, please. It doesn't encompass a council meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. We really just record only if we're going to be missing council meetings, but thank you very much. Councillor Wilkins. Very good. Moving on now to our acknowledgement of country. I wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we work and live and recognise their continuing connection to land, water and community. We pay our respects to elders past and present. Thank you. We move on now to our opening prayer, and joining us today is Pastor Tim Leach from the Calvary Church. Thank you, Pastor.
Excellent. Well, it's lovely to be here with you all this morning, and it's a great honour to be in your presence as you prepare for your council meeting today. I'd like to express my congratulations towards our newest member, Amanda. Well done for putting your hand up and being willing to serve the community in this great way. And as I was thinking about our brief moment together here this morning, I was just considering a few of the similarities between both my role as a pastor and your role as local council members and leaders in our local region. So before I pray this morning, I just want to really briefly touch on two of these commonalities that I was able to recognise this morning. And the first one was that we both seek the betterment of those around us and our community. From a local council, there's perhaps more of a practical perspective, and from a church, there's more of a spiritual perspective, but I think the two are linked nonetheless. I don't know if you've ever noticed people that don't have electricity or plumbing or those sorts of things working, all of a sudden they're far less spiritual than they were when things were going the way they like them to. So there is some connection there, and even in Scripture we read in Philippians chapter 2 verse 3, it instructs us to do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but rather in humility value others above yourself. And if your job is anything like mine, you get to put in a lot of extra hours to value other people above yourself, beyond what the role calls for. And the second area I think we have something in common is that we have both been appointed by God for the protection, provision, betterment of the people. In Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11, from the church side of things, it describes that Christ himself gave the apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors and teachers, of which I fall into that category of a pastor, to equip the church for works of service. And in Romans 13, verse 1, it tells us that let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, that's you all in this room, for there is no authority except that which God has established. So from what we read in these verses, I feel like there's an unmistakable divine element to both your role and mine. We both lead in different ways in the community and seek to influence the community positively in different ways, but there is a divine element to that. And you can work in ignorance of that reality, you can work with an absence of understanding of that, or you can work empowered by that. And I obviously feel like the latter is the better option of those two. So in conclusion, we are all, both in the council and the church, rowing in the same direction to see this town of Emerald and this region of the Central Highlands prosper in every way that we have influence over. And it is a real honour to work alongside you all in doing that, to see this region be the best it can be. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you this morning for the reminder that we are not on our own in our efforts, that we are not just working out of our own wisdom, but we have a higher wisdom. We have divine appointing in our roles here in this region. And I pray for each council member this morning and throughout this day as they seek to prosper our region, as they seek to bring the best into the Central Highlands that it can be, that you would lead and guide every one of these amazing people in this room today, that you would bless their hearts, you would encourage them, and you would strengthen them to make the tough decisions, to make the good decisions, and to make the right decisions for this community. And Lord, I pray that you would continue to lead and guide our Central Highlands region into the future and all you have for it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you very, very much, Pastor. And it was interesting. I hadn't thought about it that way, but thank you for highlighting the commonalities that we share in our leadership to seek betterment and that we've been appointed by others to improve the physical and spiritual aspects of growing our region. So thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. You have a great day too. Thank you. Moving on to item number 5, confirmation of minutes of the previous meeting. Minutes from the General Council meeting 20th of May 2026. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Donaldson, and seconder Councillor Burns. Any questions, comments, councillors? Councillor Donaldson?
No comment, thank you.
Thank you. All those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Any business arising out of the minutes at all? Nil. Number 7, review of outstanding meeting actions. Anything to raise there, councillors? Nil. Moving on to deputations. Are there any deputations today, Mr. Acting CEO? Nil. Thank you. 9, Merrill Minute. There are nil. And number 10, conflicts of interest. I will just read out for today. The draft fees and charges of the Emerald Sale Yards, which is the subject of item 12.1.1 of this agenda, was also considered as part of item 14.3.1 at Council's meeting on the 28th of May 2025. Councillors Cruz, Donaldson, Highmarsh and Whiteman declared a declarable conflict of interest in relation to item 14.3.1 on the 28th of May 2025. Remaining eligible councillors made the following decisions under section 150ES of the Local Government Act on the 28th of May 2025, having regard to the declared conflicts. Councillor Whiteman will be able to remain in the room with report 14.3.1 is being discussed and voted on. Councillor Hindmarsh will be able to remain in the room while report 14.3.1 is being discussed and voted on. Councillor Donaldson will be required to leave the room while report 14.3.1 is being discussed and voted on. Eligible councillors also noted that Councillor Cruz will leave the room and not participate in any decision regarding report 14.3.1, including when the matter is discussed and voted on. In accordance with section 15ET4 of the Local Government Act, Council's decisions made at the meeting of the 28th of May 2025 in relation to the relevant councillors apply to Council's consideration of items 12.2.1, adoption of the 2026-27 Emerald Sale Yards fees and charges of this agenda. Accordingly, Councillors Donaldson and Cruz will be required to leave the room while report 12.1.1 of this meeting is being discussed and voted on, and Councillors Whiteman and Hindmarsh may participate in decision-making regarding report 12.1.1 of this meeting, including by voting on these matters. Do councillors have any additional interest to declare, or would like any councillors to correct any prior declarations made? No. Thank you, councillors. Moving on to petitions. Any petitions to be tabled today? Nil? Very good. Moving on now to section 12, decision action reports. Item 12.1.1, adoption of the 2026-2027 Emerald Sale Yards fees and charges. Thank you, councillors. Can I call for a mover and a seconder, please? Mover, Councillor Wilkins. Seconder, Councillor Newman. Over to you, Councillor Wilkins.
No, I don't have any comment, thanks.
Okay, thank you. We'll hand over now to Carolyn Knudsen, Director of Communities, to introduce this agenda item. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through the Chair, good morning, councillors. In accordance with the Local Government Act 2009, Council has the power to set fees and charges for services and facilities classified as either regulatory or non-regulatory. Council's non-regulatory fees are charges and fees for services provided by Council, which are not set by regulation and are based on a user pays model. Importantly, these non-regulatory fees and charges are set to ensure appropriate and responsible revenue raising to assist in reducing the reliance on general rates. In considering the proposed 2026-27 Emerald Sale Yards fees and charges, the key changes relate to the third-party contractor's annual facility use payment set at $445. This fee applies to the commercial operators conducting a business activities on site with no direct contribution to the sale yards revenue streams. Payment contributes to shared infrastructure maintenance and compliance costs incurred by Council. The destruction and disposal of transit beasts set at $405.30, which reflects the increased contractor labour and disposal costs associated with compliance and biosecurity requirements. And the agent's annual payment set at $2,400, modest increase consistent with operating pressure costs, and represents an annualised cost for ongoing commercial use of the facility and continues to provide value relative to the scale of transactions facilitated through the sale yards. There were two notable decreases in the fees and charges presented today, and both of those aligned to new tags for either bulls or excluding bulls, and that is reflective of Council's commitment to pass on cost savings where achieved. The proposed 26-27 fees and charges, should they be adopted by Council, will take effect of 1 July 2026, and I now hand back to the Chair for Council to consider the report.
Thank you very much. Councillors, any questions or comments? No, I think we've... Oh, sorry, you're right, Councillor Wilkins. You have the opportunity to...
at the end.
If you want. Just to say that obviously the sale yards is a very important asset and business unit of council, a business that we have never looked at selling at all, only looking at improving the governance going forward, and adopting our fees and charges today is an important step towards reaching that goal. Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I just want to say, I know a few of these charges have gone up significantly, but there are a couple that have gone down. But I do appreciate that the response is appropriate and responsible. I think that's really important. And expenses have gone up, so I think it's in line with that. And for me, I think it's important to be responsible but not profiteering. So I think this is great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councillor. Okay, I think that we have our mover and seconder, so all those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. Moving on now to item 12.2.1, Monthly Financial Report, May 2026. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Burns, seconder, Councillor Hindmarsh. Handing over now to Helen Kirby, Manager of Finance, to take us through this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through the Chair, and good morning, councillors. This report outlines Council's financial performance to 31st of May 2026, measured against Budget Review 3, which represents our current adopted budget. As we approach the end of the financial year, Council's financial position remains strong. Year to date, we are reporting an operating surplus of 30.1 million, which is 11.8 million ahead of budget. Operating expenses are below budget, largely due to timing. Operating revenue is currently tracking ahead of budget expectations. Capital delivery currently sits at 71% of the total program, which is valued at 67.7 million. Of Council's total expenditure budget of 249 million, approximately 3/4 has been spent, with one month of the financial year remaining. This reflects the timing-related underspends across both the capital program and operating expenditure at the end of May, which are expected to normalise and largely close out by year-end. Council continues to maintain a strong cash position of 136 million, of which 32 million is considered externally restricted. The remaining balance is internally restricted and committed to supporting operations, capital works that haven't yet been delivered, future asset renewal requirements as well. Debt has reduced to 19.6 million at the end of May. Overall, this does place Council in a very strong net cash position, with cash reserves significantly exceeding outstanding debt. Rates and water arrears increased in May to 11.4 million, reflecting mainly the timing of the second half water billing cycle. Unpaid water accounts are being actively followed up through reminder notices and other debt recovery processes. By the end of June, the water arrears balance is expected to reduce as these routine recovery processes take effect. Council continues to actively manage its rates and water arrears through payment arrangements with 321 active plans in place, and the statutory sale of land process currently involving 21 properties to recover $1.2 million, and the auction scheduled for August. You'll notice this month at section 6 of the report that we've introduced an additional sustainability indicator, the asset renewal funding ratio, as part of the Department of Local Government's financial sustainability framework that Council is required to report on. This ratio looks at Council's capacity to fund future infrastructure renewals. Council's estimated result is 96%, indicating we are broadly aligned with our long-term asset management plans and financial planning objectives. In simple terms, the ratio compares what our asset management plans say we need to spend with what we've allowed for in our long-term financial plan. Reporting on this ratio becomes mandatory for Council this year as part of the audited financial statements and will also be incorporated into next year's budget. Overall, the year-to-date results for Council's business activities of airports, sale yards, waste and water utilities are ahead of budget, but this is largely driven by the timing of expenditure, which is expected to normalise by the 30th of June. In closing, the recommendation is that the Central Highlands Regional Council adopts a monthly financial report for the period ended 31st of May 2026. Thank you, and happy to take questions.
Good. Thank you very much, Manager. Councillors, any comments or questions? Oh, sorry, over to you first. Sorry, Councillor Burns.
I'm fine, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Wilkins, thank you.
Hi, Helen. Nothing to worrying. Sorry, thank you, Madam Mayor. So just with the cash flow or cash balance, so I note that it's gone down 10 million from last month. But it seems that's mostly the restricted ones. Is that correct? Because we had, just under 100 million in unrestricted last month, and now we've got just over 100 million.
So just through the chair, so with the restricted cash, you will notice that has gone down since we reported last month, and some of that will be because we've used or applied some of the grant funding to capital projects, so we've spent that effectively. But yes, cash has gone down, but that does reflect that we've already issued or billed our water and rates. 2 half-yearly notices already, so we've effectively got the majority of the cash in, even though we do have some arrears there that we're trying to recover. Mm-hmm. So there won't be a lot more income to come in. There will be the financial assistance grant will come in, which will increase our cash balance, but of course we're going to have that additional expenditure for capital and operating as we get to the end of the financial year.
Yeah, I've just noted that the unrestricted has gone up though, so. But the restricted seems to have gone down.
Yeah, so as I said, the restricted's gone down because some of the grants that we were holding in reserve until we spent the money have now been released and spent. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Helen.
Good. Thank you very much. And thank you for explaining the additional asset renewal funding ratio too. I think that's a really important ratio to have to also be reporting on and to add to the list. And speaking of the unrestricted cash, building on what Councillor Wilkins said, in those ratios, our unrestricted cash expenditure cover ratio, which is to be greater than 4 months, sits at 8.3 months, which means that Council can cover its expenses with cash in the bank for 8.3 months, which is well over the recommended ratio.
That's correct. So, yeah, so that is a good indicator of our liquidity, and it would mean if we were to receive no more revenue, we would be able to cover our operating expenses for a period of 8 months.
Thank you very much. A very strong financial position to be in at the end of this, coming to the end of this financial year. Thank you. Councillor, if there's no more questions or comments, Councillor Burns, close.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to highlight again how good it is that we've gotten rid of all that debt and all the hard work that's gone into it. So I think it's something we can be very proud as a team. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Burns. All those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Thank you. Moving on now to item 12.2.2, Auditor General Interim Audit Observation Report. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Whiteman, seconder Councillor Wilkins. Handing back over to Helen Kirby, Manager of Finance, to lead us through this agenda item. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, through the Chair. This report presents the Queensland Audit Office's Interim Audit Observation Report for the 2025-26 financial year, which is required to be tabled at this meeting under the local government regulation. It's important to note that this interim report was also previously presented to the Audit and Risk Committee meeting at the Audit and Risk Committee meeting on the 5th of June. The annual external audit is conducted in 2 phases, interim and final. The interim audit was undertaken in May by contract auditors Bentley's Audit Brisbane on behalf of the Queensland Audit Office, with a focus on internal controls and financial processes up to March 2026. The purpose of the interim audit is to provide assurance that Council's controls are operating effectively, transactions are being properly recorded, and key estimates of balances in the balance sheet are appropriate. The Queensland Audit Office have identified 3 focus areas for this year's audit, which are procurement and contract management, infrastructure asset valuations and depreciation, and developer contributions. At the Audit and Risk Committee meeting on the 5th of June, the external auditors noted that procurement controls are operating effectively, and work relating to asset valuation and developer contributions is progressing as expected and will continue through into the final audit phase. 3 new internal audit control issues were identified during this financial year's interim audit, none of which are considered significant. 2 are rated as a deficiency, which means that they require timely action by management and relate to the overuse of statutory declarations for credit card expenditure and delays in the policy review timeframes. Management have targeted both these issues for completion by the 30th of June 2026, and work is well underway to rectify those issues. The 3rd issue was classified as an other matter relating to termination checklist compliance. This has already been resolved by management. The interim audit report also provided an update on the status of previously reported issues from prior year audits. 2 issues are effectively resolved pending final audit clearance as part of the final audit, and four issues remain in progress and are being actively managed. These issues relate to contract management, infrastructure charges, and the development of an asset valuation framework, and this framework is on track for completion by the 30th of June. Overall, the audit is on track with no expected changes to scope or the audit fees, which are quoted at $193,100. 1 accounting matter relating to gravel inventory is currently being finalised in consultation with the external auditors. This matter was also noted at the Audit and Risk Committee meeting on the 5th of June. A position paper has been prepared and provided to the auditors with feedback expected shortly. It's important to note that this matter forms part of standard audit discussion which occurs each year and has no impact on audit progress. In closing, the recommendation is that Central Highlands Regional Council receives the Auditor General's observation report issued in relation to the interim audit of the Central Highlands Regional Council for the year ending 30th of June 2026. Thank you and happy to take questions.
Thank you very much. Manager, over to Councillor Whiteman, please.
I have nothing to add.
Very good. Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, Helen, I think it's a good report again, and I think it's, obviously it's very important to be monitoring a lot of sort of what's going on in council. This is, the majority is ratepayers' money, so yeah, it's very important that it's not, frittered away or not accounted for in any way. So I think this is obviously a very important process. Thank you.
Good. Thank you very much. And just to concur with your comments, Councillor Wilkins, it's really important practice to have our external audits to identify how council can continue to improve its governance and manage operations as well, and to improve transparency coming to our council meetings for community on how we're tracking, and it's prudent business to have these audits. So it's all about improving and moving forward. So thank you. Councillor Whiteman, to close.
I'd just like to bring to attention that finding a few small matters in an organisation this size is a symptom of a strong auditing process, and I think it's a strong result. So thank you.
Thank you very much. All those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Thank you. Moving on now to item 12.3.1, project nominations, School Transport Infrastructure Program, Tranche 10. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Newman, seconder. Councillor Whiteman, over to you. Manager Kim Downey.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
I haven't got your name written here, Kim.
As already mentioned, our funding opportunity today is Tranche 10 of the Queensland Government School Transport Infrastructure Program. This funding provides specific funding to improve the safety and operations around our schools through new and improved network, at the school and or on the surrounding network. A maximum of $250,000 in state funding is available for each project nominated, with the general expectation that most projects will be funded on a 50-50 basis. However, funding of up to 100% can be applied at the approver's discretion. If endorsed, Council will apply for 80% of the total cost of the nominated projects. Applications for funding are actually a two-stage process, with the initial submission of an idea, then following investigation and recommendation from Department of Transport and Main Roads, it then progresses to a full nomination for consideration. On the 21st of May, the Strategic Program Governance Group considered project nominations received from the Council officers and approved 2 projects for progression to application. Both of these projects are in the concept stage. The first project, Anarchy State School Stop, Drop and Go, is actually a resubmission. We submitted it under Tranche 7 in May 2024, but were unsuccessful. So this project has previously been identified in budget deliberations as a project that will only progress with external funding. The second project, Emerald North State School Bus Shelter, has not previously been considered in budget deliberations, but has been included today due to the safety concerns around that location. Further details of these two projects can be found in Table 1 of the report and also in the report attachment, which shows the location of the proposed projects. Applications are to be submitted by 30 June 2026, with an announcement date for the outcome yet to be provided. If successful, the projects may need to be included in the 26-27 capital budget, and Council will be required to commit to the inclusion of the required funds in the financial year in which the projects will be delivered. Thank you. Any questions?
Good. Thank you. Any questions or comments, councillors? Actually, we're over to Councillor Newman first.
Through the chair, I'll wait until the end. Thank you.
Thank you. Good. Councillor Wilkins.
As always, I'd like to see these projects going forward. Hopefully the application will be successful.
Thank you very much. I think one of the reasons council do have their surplus in their budget is to also cover, these kind of grant opportunities and other unforeseen expenses that might be incurred. So understanding that this project may be delivered in 2026-27, but thank you. Over to Councillor Newman to close. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I find this particular funding critical for the safety of school children, so anything to enhance and improve the safety of our children getting to school, to and from school, is essential, and I welcome these two applications being added to the list. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, councillors. All those in favour? Motion carried. And thank you, Manager, Strategic Program Delivery and Asset Management, Kim Downey. Thank you very much. Moving on now to item 12.3.2, policy updates, rural and urban addressing. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Mover, Councillor Newman. Seconder, Councillor Donaldson. Handing over now to Jason Houlihan, Director Operations, to lead us through this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and good morning, councillors. The purpose of this report is to present to Council the updated Urban and Rural Addressing Policy, CHRCP 0071, and the Urban Addressing Numbering Procedure, which is procedure number 137. Central Highlands Regional Council periodically reviews its policies and procedures to ensure alignment with current legislation, standards and operational requirements. The Urban and Rural Addressing Policy and supporting procedure provides a framework for the consistent allocation and management of property addressing across the region, supporting accurate identification of properties for emergency services, service delivery and public use. The current review has been undertaken to ensure continued alignment with the Australian and New Zealand standards, which is Rural and Urban Addressing Australian Standard number 4819, 2011, and to improve clarity and consistency within the document. The proposed updates to the Urban and Rural Addressing Policy and urban addressing numbering procedure ensure continued alignment with this standard and support consistency and compliant addressing practices across our local government area. Changes improve clarity around the composition of addressing, confirming that addresses may include a property name where applicable, street number, street name, locality and postcode. Updates have also been made to strengthen requirements relating to rural address markers, including their installation at property access points to ensure clear visibility from the roadway and to support emergency service response and service delivery outcomes. The urban addressing numbering procedure has undertaken a full review and has been formalised under a new procedure number. This procedure has been provided in this report for noting only. Happy to take any questions, councillors.
Good, thank you very much. Councillor Newman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll leave my comments till the end. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillors, any comments or questions? Councillor Cruz.
Through the chair, just wanting to confirm that if there may be existing anomalies, that this isn't going to be retrospective. It's moving forward with the new sort of standards that we're applying in the policy.
Through the chair, thank you for the question. Definitely, our intent is to this policy will apply to any position, any new applications.
Mm-hmm.
However, if we are made aware of non-conformances, we will work with property owners to address those where possible. We don't intend on undertaking a full audit and I guess proactively changing addresses, but we'll work with property owners if they wish to align themselves with this new procedure. The new policy and procedure isn't that different from the existing. It's just, again, just realigning ourselves with the Australian standards.
Perfect, thank you.
Very good. Councillor Watman.
More a comment than a question. We obviously have done workshops on this and we have a good understanding. We understand as a council the legislated requirements that have pushed this policy. It is important for, especially on the rural side of our addressing, to also point out that we understand and we're aware of inconsistencies between the way that the legislated addressing system works and the way that the mail delivery system works. And I guess the question is, which has basically already been answered a bit, but more specifically, what we're going to do where there is an inconsistency between the physical address and the mail system address.
Through the chair, so when we issue a new a property identification or a property rural address or an urban address, we do notify the relevant state departments who keep that into their register. So as mentioned before, we don't intend to proactively change, but if property owners are having trouble or experiencing trouble, we encourage them to approach council and we can work with them to seek the best outcome for all parties.
Thank you. Councillor Donaldson.
It's more of a comment also. I have to say this is a good policy because, as you know, we've been asking for the rural side and the urban side. I think now if we've got a standard over the whole Shire, I think it just makes it easier for everyone involved, property owners. Gives them a place that they know where they stand with it. And if the money does become available to go ahead with rural addressing, we're lucky out in the Lockington district, the Buggentongue district, we have already got signs, but there's a lot of places within our Shire that don't have any signs to help the emergency service, etc. Or it's not even that; it's even anyone find your address. And I think it gives a consistency over the whole Shire. So if the budget was allowed, we could go ahead, and then it would be at a standard which everyone agrees to.
Thank you, councillor. Absolutely, and concur with the council's comment. It has been long raised by communities across the region over time. So, and we've realised it's a lot more complex than anticipated. So, especially now, aligning with the Australian standards is an important step forward. And as you say, Councillor Donaldson, having that standard across the region. So, thank you very much. Very good. Any other questions or comments? Back over to you, Councillor Newman, in closing.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just welcome this piece of, in answer to many of the community's queries. So it's lovely to see that this urban and rural addressing policy fits within the standards and works in partnership with the motherboard situations, hopefully to address the concerns that the emergency services and various property owners have had around this element. I just have one question. Will we have a standard education piece on the website for community to access so that they're aware of the system?
Thank you, councillor. We do have a fact sheet on rural addressing on our website at the moment, and obviously that will require an update following this procedure and policy. So we'll make sure that that is in alignment with the new policy. As mentioned, there's not a lot of significant change to this policy from the previous one, so the fact sheet won't need much of a change.
Thank you. Very good. Councillors, all those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. Thank you, Director Operations, for that. Moving on now to the section 12.4, Chief Executive Officer. Item 12.4.1, Australian Local Government Association, ALGA, 2026 Roads Congress. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Whiteman, seconder. Councillor Burns. Handing over now to our Acting Chief Executive Officer, Graham Kanofsky, to lead us through this report, please.
Thank you. Through the Chair, the Australian Local Government Association, or ALGA as we know it, is the peak body for all local governments in Australia. It is a non-profit organisation established solely to serve the 537 member councils. Each year, the ALGA holds an annual conference that focuses on local roads and transport networks. The Congress is an annual event featuring experts and guest speakers covering a comprehensive program focused on roads, transport, mobility, road safety and community infrastructure. The program will feature leading industry experts, federal and state government representatives and innovative councils sharing their insight on how we plan, build and maintain our road networks and community assets. I point out that Mayor Moriarty and Councillor Cruz are Council's representatives on the Bowen Basin Regional Road Transport Group, with Councillor Cruz the Deputy Chair of the group. So the object of today is to determine and authorise the attendance of councillor representatives to this conference to be held in Cairns from 25 to 26 of August 2026.
Thank you very much. Councillor Whiteman.
This council has traditionally been very conservative in conferences that we send councillors to. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe we've ever sent a councillor to the roads conference. I know I did look up last year and it was voted down unanimously voted down at the council meeting. I'm all for sending the engineers to the roads conference. At the end of the day, the roads that we build are designed by engineers and built by grader drivers. You know, like maybe we should be sending those fellas to the conference, or those people to the conference. But I'm not in favour of sending people to the conference.
Thank you, Councillor Whiteman. Over to our Director of Operations.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just to clarify that, so the last 2 years we have not attended this conference in 24 and 25. So I think 24 was in Perth or the Margaret River, and 25 was somewhere in South Australia. 22, I attended with the Deputy Mayor, which was in Hobart, and in 23, the Mayor and Deputy Mayor and myself attended in Canberra. This conference is a little bit more of a higher level than, or you know, it's at the director/councillor level. It's not a technical conference about road building. It's about funding opportunities and etc. And as mentioned in the report, there is the political element where ministers and political parties do attend. So just to understand the context of the conference.
Thank you very much. Councillor Newman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I believe that we should be sending someone to this conference at this time, both for the political aspect and also because it hasn't got the extended travel that some of the other conferences have held. I think it will be relevant to Queensland and to Queensland issues. So I would like to see some council representation at this conference.
Very good. Thank you. Councillor Hindmarsh.
Thank you, through the chair. I agree with Councillor Newman. I'd like to see some representation, and I'd like to, if appropriate, I'd like to see Councillor Cruz attend, being the Deputy Chair of the Bowen Basin. I also think it's appropriate for Director Houlihan to attend, or someone that from his department. I'd also like to suggest that potentially a third councillor go, someone that's that's active in the roads side of things as far as the councillors are concerned. I myself I have another engagement that I am going to be attending for a week shortly after this is on, so I would not be nominating myself, but I do believe that there's others here in the line that would be suitable to go.
Good. Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, I feel there should be representation. Everyone knows I'm not interested in roads, really, but I think it's important that we are represented at an ALGA conference of really any type. So that's my...
Thank you. Councillor Donaldson.
I'll get my 20 cents worth. No, yeah, I agree. I think you should, considering the amount of roads, both sealed and unsealed, we have in our shire. I think it's probably a good decision for us to attend the conference with not only a councillor but also someone from the executive. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Cruz.
Through the chair, I note Councillor Whiteman's remarks regards the last one, and I think it was unanimous because it was so far away as well, and it was our thought that it may have been more of a technical, a technical engagement rather than sort of probably at that advocacy level. Given that it is within our state and may not be potentially next time, I would actually like to go. And I've got no problem driving because I think if you drive the roads that lead you to the event, it might give you a little bit more ammunition when you get to talk to people. I would also like to see if there is the potential, if this is voted upon, that if there is ministerial representation, that perhaps we could take advantage of that while we're up there as well, both from our council perspective, but perhaps in our other advocacy groups, Queensland Beef Corridors and such. So I'd like to put my name forward. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. I'd like to attend as well. And building on your comments there, Councillor Cruz, absolutely. Once we get through today of who's going and make it that we've got representation from Central Highlands Regional Council, yes, we can do what we can to make sure that we've got those extra opportunities of advocacy to meet with both state and federal ministers or key representatives from key organisations as well, just to make sure we're flying the flag for our region. Very good. Any other comments or questions? Did you want me to read the resolution potentially, or you're happy to close it?
Before my closing comments, I think we need to lock down what the resolution's actually going to look like, don't we? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so the resolution is that the Central Highlands Regional Council is represented at the Australian Local Government Association 2026 National Local Roads and Transport and Infrastructure Congress to be held in Cairns, Queensland from the 25th to the 26th of August 2026 by Councillors Janice Moriarty and Councillor Rachel Cruz. Councillor Hamish.
No,
great.
Yep. Sorry, I was a bit quick. Do we need to include our director in that? No. Right, yeah.
Through the chair, delegation for me to attend would be through the CEO, not through a council resolution, if funds were available.
Thank you. Councillor Hamish.
Through the chair, I just, off the back of Councillor Cruz's comments being that this is the first one in a number of years that's been close to us, and they potentially will go outside the state again after this one. I'm just wondering whether we should be taking advantage of that.
Yep.
And again, off the back of her comments about advocacy work, whether there should be a third attendee from the councillor group that goes. Yeah. And I'd like to put forward Councillor Follott, if she's happy to attend. See what she thinks.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Follott.
While I would love to attend, because it's in North Queensland, and I'm backing Councillor Cruz in that I do think we should drive so we have that experience, I will actually be skiing in Queenstown. And it is. Unfortunately, I actually tried to look in and see if I could change flights, but I'm meeting someone from another country there, so it's just, unfortunately, I can't change my plans on that one, which is a real shame. Sorry.
Thank you. Councillor Newman.
Through the chair, I would also like to attend the conference, given that I have ALGA motion in and plan to put an LGAQ motion in on roads, so I'd like to. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll change that motion to add Councillor Newman as well. Councillor Wilkins.
Yeah, no, I'm not wanting to go. I just want to add that there is a tour of the Gordon Vale's water security project, so which might be down Councillor Newman's alley.
Yep. Thank you. Being the Deputy Chair of the LGAQ Water and Wastewater Advisory Group. Yep. Thank you. Very good, councillors. I can read that resolution again. That the Central Highlands Regional Council be represented at the Australian Local Government Association 2026 National Local Roads and Transport and Infrastructure Congress to be held in Cairns, Queensland from the 25th to the 26th of August 2026 by Councillors Janice Moriarty, Councillor Rachel Cruz and Councillor Karen Newman. Closing, Councillor Whiteman.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you to Director of Infrastructure for the clarification there. It gave me a lot better understanding of what might be achieved at the conference, and so I'm happy to support that.
Thank you. And like we quite rightly said, the last two conferences have been in other states like WA and wherever, so on our doorstep, it's a great opportunity. Thank you. All those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much, councillors. Moving on to item 12.4.2, amended 2026 General Council meeting date, August 2026. Can I have a mover, please, and a seconder? Mover, Councillor Wilkins, seconder, Councillor Burns. Is that? He was going like this. I didn't know whether he's... Thank you very much. So handing over now to Acting Chief Executive Officer Graham Kanofsky to lead us through this report. Thank you.
Okay, Council has previously resolved that it meets on the fourth Wednesday of the month, commencing at 9 a.m. And the last decision of Council was to support 3 councillors to attend the National Roads Conference. Therefore, it is suggested that we move our August 26 meeting to August 18.
Very good. Thank you very much. Councillors, any comments or questions? Very good. All those in favour? Oh, sorry, Councillor Wilkins, going back to, I didn't think that.
No further comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry. All those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much, councillors. So moving on now to late agenda items, and we do have a late agenda item, which is item 16.1, Sister City Delegation, Japan, October 2026. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Burns, seconder. Councillor Donaldson. Handing over now to Acting Chief Executive Officer Graham Kanofsky to lead us through this agenda item, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Sister City Relationship Council has with Japan actually commenced with the former Jaringa Council. So that was established in 1993. In August 2024, the 30-year anniversary of the Sister City Cooperative Agreement was formally recognised, and you can tell me what the name of that city is?
Ichinosenki.
Represented they visited Central Highlands and extended an invitation to reciprocate. So this is the opportunity to do that. And the suggested dates is 7 to 13th of October 2026. Under our council policy, payments of expenses and provision of facilities relating to the delegation are covered in council's expenses reimbursement and provision of facilities. So the decision today is to approve or not approve councillors' attendance and the consequential financial decision that relates to that.
Very good. Thank you. Over to Councillor Burns.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I can't go. I'm sorry. Yeah, I fully support this. I think it's an important relationship, and it's not done every year. I think it was the last time someone went over was 2018, so it's been a few years now. So I fully support it.
Thank you very much, Councillor. So there's two parts to the recommendation. One is approves participating councillors to attend the sister city delegation to Ichino-Senki, Japan for council business from the 7th to 13th of October 2026 as a sister city delegation. So I get a call for councillors that would like to be part of the delegation. Councillor Wilkins?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, I would like to be a part of the delegation. I've got not so much history with actually going to Japan, but I studied Japanese at school and outside of school. This is not just a junket; it is a visit to cement a relationship, but also there's economic and cultural advantages to attending going over there. So I think it's really important. There's plenty of things we can learn. When the visitors came here, Mayor Sato came here, things like even recycling, they just do in an amazing way. So I think there's so much that we can learn and we can bring back here.
Yes, thank you very much, Councillor. And Councillor Newman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I am fully in support with a council delegation going over to reciprocate this sister city relationship. I think the relationship with Ichino-Senki has been a long historic relationship that previously was with Fujisawa and the Duringa Shire, and 32 years that has been ongoing. I believe the visit has both cultural and economic benefits for the region, and I would like to see council represented in this opportunity.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to nominate myself as well to be part of the delegation. I know that over time we've had reciprocal visits, and we had a visit in 2024 from Mayor Sato and Chairman Katsubi, and traditionally our councils have reciprocated. They came over to celebrate the 30 years of our sister city, which is one of the longest standing sister city arrangements in definitely in Queensland, if not Australia. Particularly with Japan. So, or in Japan. So, I think it's important to have the Mayor participate in the delegation. Thank you. The second part of, was there any other councillors who would like to participate? We're all good for the time being. And then the second part notes that payment of expenses and the provision of facilities relating to the sister city delegation will incur in accordance with council's expenses reimbursement and provision of facilities for Mayor and Councillors Policy CHRC P0042. Can I ask for some clarification on what that means, please?
Effectively, councillor, it means that all expenses, because it's official delegation, all expenses are covered by virtue of that policy.
Thank you. Councillor Newman.
Through the chair, I know in prior discussion to this arrangement going over, there was some interest in the councillors paying their own way. If that is to be the case, I believe that council should be paying for it as per our policy, but if that should be the case that councillors would like to pay their own way to cement this relationship with our sister city, I would like to propose an amendment to Part B of the resolution.
Thank you. If that's all right, can I just add there that I'm very happy and believe that councillors should be paying their own way. I think they always have, and I'm happy to be doing that. I don't know, Councillor Wilkins, if you...
Yes, I'm happy to pay my own way, if that's the choice. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor.
So the amendment to the resolution for Part B only would be an amended resolution that resolves that participating councillors will not be entitled to claim any payment for expenses incurred or to be incurred, and will not be provided facilities in relation to their participation in the sister city delegation, notwithstanding that it constitutes council business under council expenses, reimbursement and provision of facilities for Mayor and Councillors Policy, CHRC P0042, pursuant to Section 254H of the Local Government Regulation 2012. The reason for this decision is that there is no intention for Council to allocate a budget for the sister city delegation.
Very good. Thank you very much. Okay. So can I have a seconder, please, for that amendment to the recommendation there? Councillor Whiteman, thank you. All those in favour? Thank you, councillors. Amendment passed?
Yeah,
yep.
Now you do one for the whole lot.
Yep. So just to make sure that we've identified that participating councillors in Part 1 there are Councillors Janice Moriarty and Councillor Gillian Wilkins. And the amendment to that. So can I have a mover and seconder for that new resolution, please? Councillor Newman, seconder. Councillor Whiteman. Councillors, any other questions or comments? All those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Thank you. Moving on now to item 17, notice of motion. There's nil. Any general business, councillors? Any community acknowledgements? I'd like to acknowledge, Councillor Cruz. I'd like to acknowledge the passing of John Hall. Just as a bit of a background as well, because John has worked for council, the previous Emerald Council, as well as served as a councillor. So John commenced his career in local government at Dalby Town Council, where he obtained his local government clerk certificate, which was a requirement to become a shire clerk in those days. He then moved to Emerald to take up the position of Deputy Shire Clerk, which was retitled to Deputy CEO after a change in the Local Government Act in 1993. John's main portfolio was being in charge of town planning, building, plumbing and health matters. Over his many years in local government, he has worked with many mayors and numerous councillors. His tenure was also at a time of major change with the advent of mining, which changed the town, particularly with an increase in population, schools and also infrastructure. After his retirement from Emerald Shire Council, he did a term of 4 years as a councillor with Emerald Shire Council from 2004 to 2008. And after that, he didn't nominate for a position as council with the new Central Highlands Regional Council, which came into being in 2008. After his election to council, he was an advocate and supporter of having a new council. To Nanette and family, we have all been fortunate to spend time with and yourselves with amazing community champion and a wonderful man. And we pass on our sincere condolences. Thank you. Councillor Cruz?
Through the chair, I just wanted to acknowledge the Central Highlands show season. So I had the opportunity to attend all of the shows across our region, and each one is unique, but each one is a success because of the volunteers and the show societies that make it all happen. I guess at the heart of it, they're agricultural shows, and we are and always will be an agricultural region. So that's something that should always be acknowledged and celebrated and supported. So well done to all the show societies. Thank you.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you. Councillor Burns.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd just like to second your acknowledgement with the passing of John Hall, and sincere condolences and prayers go with him and his family. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Burns. Councillor Wilkins.
Yes, I'd like to acknowledge the passing of John Hall as well. I met him well after his time in council through the Emerald Lions Club. He was very had a presence about him, and I remember when I was running for councillor, and met him in the street, and he was giving me advice, and even after becoming a councillor, further advice. So, yes, it was just lovely knowing him.
Absolutely, thank you, and all his work with the Emerald Lions and the town band. So yes, a wonderful community champion. Thank you, everyone. Moving on now to close of our meeting. So thank you, councillors, and we close our meeting. And of course, thank you to all our staff. Without you, we wouldn't be here having such smooth running council meetings as well. So thank you, everybody. So we're closing our meeting now at 10:21 a.m. Thank you. And of course, for all those who would like to join us, we will have our special budget meeting